Okay, let's look at the first question. Okay, a bracket 5a minus 2b, 5a plus 2b. Right, what am I saying? Okay, same terms, 5a, 5a, negative 2b, positive 2b. Okay, so this reminds us of a squared minus b squared. Okay, it's made up of a plus b, a minus. Okay, now then we need to know that multiplication is can be done in no specific order, right? So that means I can leave the a on the other side. Okay, I can just extend this part. So 25 a squared minus 4b squared. Okay, then distribute the a in 25 a cubed minus 4a squared.
Question 2. And this is a tricky one. 3 to the power of x plus 3 to the power of x plus 2 equals to 90. Find x. Okay. So what happens is that indices, we don't really have an addition law. So when we see a question like this, okay, two things come to my mind. First, I need to know how to split the indices. Second, I need to know that I need to factorize the indices. So what do I mean? Right. So firstly, 3 to the power of x plus 3 to the power of x. Splitting up this plus 2, it becomes times 3 to the power of 2. Okay. So this is because of indices law. An times an equals to an plus n. So now I'm using it in reverse. An plus n equals to an times an. You see how I split it up? Okay. Exactly the same. Okay. Equals to 90. Okay, now 3 to the power of x, 3 to the power of x, common factor. So I can factorize it out. So when I factorize out, I'll have 1 plus 3 squared is 90. Okay, equals to 90. So 1 plus 9 is 10. So 3 to the power of x times 10 equals to 90. 3 to the power of x equals 9. 3 power of x equals to 3 squared. Therefore, x equals to 2. Question 3. Okay. Simplify 2x squared plus 4x minus 3x minus 6y over 2x squared plus 6x minus 6y squared. So this sort of question, okay, what do we do? Right? So to simplify, right? Okay, we want to simplify, let's say we want to simplify a fraction of 4 out of 6. Simplify what means 2 out of 3. Same logic, right? So what we want to do is to do some cancellations with the top and the bottom. Okay, so 4 terms, okay, usually okay, is by grouping. Okay, 4 terms will be by grouping. 3 terms will be cross factorizing. Okay, so looking at the top, okay, what can I have? 2x squared plus 4xy minus 3x minus 6y over 2x squared plus xy minus 6y squared equals to. So first one, I can have a common factor of 2x, so I'll have x plus 2y. Okay, so I want to have x plus 2y in the second term as well. But looking at these two are negative, so what comes to my mind is that I need to factorize out negative. So negative 3 bracket, I will also get x plus 2y at the top. Okay, over. Now bottom, cross factorization. Okay, right, you can either use a de facto method or you can use cross factorization. Okay, it depends on what you learn in school, right? So 2x squared. Okay, then we get negative 6y squared. So 3y and 2y. This one is positive y, so this one is negative. Okay, so then cross multiply, minus 3xy, positive 4xy. So we get positive xy. Okay, so we'll have 2x minus 3y, x plus 2y. Okay, so final answer, 2x minus 3 bracket x plus 2y over 2x minus 3y bracket x plus 2y. So what happens? 2x x plus 2y, it cancels out. Okay, now nothing we can do because 2x minus 3 and 2x minus 3y are entirely different. Okay, so the answer will just be 2x minus 3y, sorry, 2x minus 3 over 2x minus 3y. Okay, question 4. Two integers a and b can be written as products of prime factors. A equals to 3 to the power of n plus 2 times 7. B equals to q times 3 to the power of n times 7. Okay. The lowest common multiple of a and b is 3 cubed times 5 times 7. Write down the values of n and q. Okay, so a equals to 3 to the power of n plus 2 times 7. B is equals to q times 3 to the power of n times 7. So what do I note about here, right? Is LCM. They tell us that the LCM is 3 to the power of 3 times 5 times 7. Now, we know that in order to find LCM, okay, the logic is to take the highest power from both terms. Okay, so now if we consider the first one, right? 3 to the power of n plus 2 and 3 to the power of n, okay, they chose 3 to the power of 3. Okay, they chose 3 to the power of 3. Okay, they chose 3 to the power of 3 down here, which means that between 3 to the power of n and 3 to the power of n plus 2, 3 to the power of 3 is the highest power. So therefore, 3 to the power of n plus 2 must be 3 to the power of 3. Okay, so n equals to 1. Okay, second. Okay, and then we have powers are multiplied by 7 on both sides. Okay, so that is also contribute to the LCM down here. So the only missing term is a 5, right? Which must be from the q itself. So therefore, q equals to 5. Very simple. Okay, question 4b. Find the highest common factor of a and b. Okay, so now that we have all the values, right? A equals to 3 cubed times 7. B equals to 3 times 5 times 7. Then the HCF, right? HCF is equals to, okay, so for HCF, we take the lowest count. Okay, so 3 cubed and 3, we take 3. 5, and this one is A has no 5, so we don't take any 5, right? 7 and 7, so we take 7. So HCF is 21. Okay, so one of the things that we take down here is index notation. If the question asks for index notation, then the answer will be 3 times 7. Okay, if the question says index notation, then the answer will be 3 times 7. Okay, question 5. Okay, below is a graph from the annual climate Singapore 2023, which shows the top 10 warmest years in Singapore since 1929. Okay, state one aspect of the graph that may be misleading, and explain how this may lead to a misinterpretation of the graph. Okay, so there are a lot of factors, okay, over here that are misleading. Okay, the first thing that we can see is that, okay, the most common one, right, is the y-axis. Right. Okay, and then we have okay, the second one is how the data are arranged. okay, not in order. Okay, so we can't find a trend in the graph. Okay, so this graph is just like so randomized, right? Okay, so to answer this question, okay, what do I say? Okay, two things. One aspect of the graph. Okay, so which part of the graph is misleading, and then explain how. Okay, so when you have an explain question, okay, in mathematics, either you use numbers, okay, or you write words to prove it. Okay, so for this question, how would I answer it? Okay, so it's the number one is I will say the y-axis, right? Y-axis did not start from 0. Okay, and why is this misleading, right? Because if you compare the data, okay, by the unit blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 6 unit blocks, and this is 1, 2. Okay, so it looks like the warmest year, right? 2019. Okay, from the graph. Okay, so we use data to prove it. From the graph, it looks like 2019 is twice of 2005. Okay, however, okay, this is what 28 degree versus 28.4 degree. The difference is only 0.4 Celsius. Okay. Okay. Question 6. Okay, question 6 indices, right? So first thing that caught my eye is the negative power. Okay, so let me write down the question first. We have y to the power of 9 over 27, x to the power of negative 6 to the power of negative 2 out 3. Okay, so the first thing first is, right, the negative power. Okay, what can we do with it? Okay, of course, okay, there can be different people have different way of dealing with indices. Okay, this is just what I like to do. Alright, so the first thing that I'll see is that the negative power that is on the outside, can I change it? Sure, yeah, change it. Okay, now then when I change negative to positive, something must happen inside the bracket. So what will happen is that everything inside will flip. So I don't care what is inside, I just flip it first. Okay, now then the second thing that caught my eye would be the negative part inside. So negative indices, right, okay, is only two positions, whether they exist as a numerator or denominator. Okay, based on this rule, right, a power negative m equals to 1 over an. So what happens to x power negative 6? Now we will go down. So we have 27 over x6 y9 to the power of 2/3. Okay, now numbers dealing with indices, we have two ways. Okay, the most common way that I'll do is just key into the calculator, right? 27 to the power 2 over 3, the calculator will show you that the answer is 9. Okay, now for the powers, okay, they are multiplicative. So 2/3 times 6, I will get x to the power of 4. Y cubed times 9, I will get y to the power of 6. Answer. Right? Alternatively, right, if you want to understand more as well, okay, is that 27 is to the power of 2/3 is actually equals to 3 to the cube to the 2/3. So that you get 3 squared, which is 9. Okay? Okay. B. Given that 25 over 125 to the power of 2 minus x equals to 5 to the power of 1. Express x in terms of 1. Okay, so this sort of question, right, what do we do? Okay, make them into the same base. Okay, so first one, we'll have, okay, let's write down the function first. 25 over 125 to the power of 2 minus x equals to 5 to the power of 1. So 25 is 5 squared. 125 is 5 cubed to the power of 2 minus x equals to 5 power 1. So over here, this sign, right, the fraction sign is actually a divide sign. And that also means, right, okay, we can apply this am divided by an equals to am minus n. So it acts as a minus sign for the powers. Okay, but you can make it a little bit simpler as well. So 5 squared, okay, over 5 to the power of 6 minus 3x first equals to 5 to the power 1. Okay, then you'll have 5 to the power of 2 minus 6 plus 3x. Okay, so this is common, okay, commonly, right, people may tell us here, is minus a negative 3x. That's why it becomes positive 3x. Okay, equals to 5 to the power of 1. Okay, so now this is the same, we can just compare the power. Negative 4 plus 3x equals to y. 3x equals to y plus 4. So x equals to y plus 4 over 3. There you go. Okay, check out the question. Okay, I did it wrongly, right? They say x in terms of 1. Okay. Okay, question 7. Factorize completely. Okay, this one doesn't look so A doesn't look very complicated. Okay, so factorizing this, okay, we'll just 3 terms, right? Factorize 3 terms, we'll just do the cross. Okay, and I think this is a special identity, right? Okay, this one should be 3x, 3x, 4y, 4y. Cross multiply, 12xy each. Okay, so that means this answer is going to be 3x plus 4y squared. Okay, so okay, for presentation sake, right? For presentation sake. So let's just write properly 9x squared, 16y squared, 24xy. Okay, so 9x squared plus 24xy plus 16y squared equals to 3x plus 4y, 3x plus 4y. Equals to 3x plus 4y squared. Okay, hence, okay, factorize 144a8 minus 9a8 plus 24a4y plus 16y squared. Okay, right? So what we notice down here, right, is that the top part down here resembles this part over here. Okay, most of it, right, it's almost identical. Okay, just that instead of having a8, we have x squared. So that means if I take x equals to a to the power of 4. Okay, so I say set x to be a to the power of 4 to be x. Okay, or x to the power of a over 4. So then this whole thing, okay, will become 144 a minus 9x. It's like 9, let me write the first. 9a8 plus 24 a4y plus 16y squared equals to 144 x squared. Okay, because if I, okay, so okay, I should write this as well. Okay, let x equals to a power 4. Okay, so minus 9 x squared plus 24 xy plus 16y squared. So from above, right, okay, we know that this is going to be 144 x squared minus 3x plus 4 y squared. Now, then it is important to note that this now becomes a squared minus b squared. Okay, so then we need to look out for, okay, I mean, we can further break this down into 12x, okay, plus 3x plus 4y. Okay, and 12x minus 3x plus 4y. Okay, simplified. Okay, the first one should be easy. 15x plus 4y and 9x minus 4y. okay, which then goes back into, okay, because the x was something that we subbed in, so now it becomes 15a4 plus 4y, 9a4 minus 4y. Next question 8. Okay. The intensity of the sound detected by a receiver is inversely proportional to the square of the distance of the receiver from the source of the sound. Okay. When the distance is r meters, the intensity of the sound detected is q decibels. Okay. When the distance is reduced by 40%, find the intensity of the sound detected in terms of q. Alright. So sometimes questions, okay, you have to read a few times to really understand what it means. Now, the intensity of the sound, right, let's call this I, okay, detected by a receiver is inversely proportional. Okay, so we look for the keyword, okay, to what? To the square of the distance. Now let's call the square of the distance, okay, let's call the distance d. Okay, so we can set up our first equation, I equals to k, okay, k over d squared. Alright. Now, okay, when the distance is r, the sound recorded is q. Okay, distance is r, sound detected is q. Okay, so the question gives us a set of values, right? When the d equals to r, I equals to q. Okay, so let's call this q1. Okay, alright, let's just call it q, right? Q equals to k over r squared. Okay, so this sort of question, the most important factor is the k. So k equals to q times r squared. Okay, now scenario number 2. Okay, the formula is still going to be I equals to k over d squared. K over d squared. Alright. Now, when the distance is reduced by 40%, okay, distance was r, right? Okay. Now, the value of r is reduced by 40%. So that means r is now, okay, converts into 0.6r. Okay, so the intensity of the sound would be k divided by 0.6 r squared. Okay, again, what is important? K is the important factor, right? So you can do this, okay, because k is equal to what? Q times r squared. So you can do a direct swap, okay, of the algebra, right? Okay, so you can do this. Okay, that's not enough space. Okay, let me. Okay. So I'll say that I equals to q times r squared over 0.36 r squared. Okay, because 0.6 squared is 0.36. Now, then what happens, right? R squared gets cancelled off. So the intensity is q divided by 0.36. Now I'm not going to take q, I'm going to take 1. Right? So 1 divided by 0.36, you key in the calculator, right? You'll get 2 whole 7 out of 9. Right? So 2 whole 7 out of 9 q. Okay? So find the intensity of the sound, right? The intensity of the sound will be 2 whole 7 over 9 q. Okay? That will be the answer. Calculate the percentage difference. Okay? Now, percentage difference will be change minus original over original times 100% equals to. Okay? So we'll have 2 7 over 9 q minus q over q times 100%. Now, if I factorize out the q, it's basically just 279 minus 1 over q, which the q gets cancelled off, right? Times 100%, which will give me minus 1 times 100, okay, 177. What's the different fraction? 177, 7 up 9%. Okay. Okay. Let's look. Okay, let's look at the next question. Okay. Sketch the graph. Y equals to 3 to the power of negative x. Indicate clearly the coordinates of the point where the graph crosses the axis. Right? Now, I'll argue that this question is really not that important, okay, because O level they don't really test this question. Right? Okay, but anyways, okay, good to know is that this is a reverse exponential graph. Okay, because it's a negative power x. So that means when x grows, the number actually gets smaller. Okay, and when x is on the negative side, okay, the value actually gets bigger. Okay, so this is how the graph will actually look like. Okay, and this point is a point 0 and 1. Okay. Now, very simple, you can just create a table of values and then sub in the points to see how the points are more likely to be there. Okay, so for example, you sub in x equals to 0, y equals to 1. You sub in x equals to 1, you get 1 third. You sub in x equals to 2, you get 1 9. If you sub in negative 1, okay, you get 3. You sub in negative 2, you get 9. Okay, so you can see how the graph is going, okay, how the graph is trending. Okay.
Okay, question 10. ABCD is a rhombus and RD equals to CS. Okay, so RD, okay, let me just highlight, RD is equivalent to CS. Okay, these two lines are equal. Okay, SCB, DCR, and AQR are straight line. Prove that triangle SCD and RDA are congruent. Okay, let's look at it. SCD. Okay, so how I like to do this question is to label their position. Okay, S, C, D, and R, D, A. Okay, right, R, D, A. Okay, S, C, D, R, D, A. Okay, are congruent. Alright, okay, so we have ABCD is a rhombus as well. Okay, so looking at the position, right? Okay, so let's start with 1, 2. Okay, so the position 1, 2, SC is equals to RD. Okay, which is actually given to us, right? Okay, the first thing that we got. Okay, so this is the given. Now, secondly, right, would be, let's see. Okay, we focus on 1 plus 2, 3. CD and DA. Okay, CD and DA. Okay, oh, sorry, I forgot to highlight RDA. RDA is this triangle, right? Okay, CSD, SCD is this triangle. Okay, try and prove this congruent. Okay, so the 2, 3 is also a match, right? We have CD equals to position 2, 3 equals to DA. Okay, sides of rhombus. Okay, so there's another proof. Okay, so we have looked at 1, 2, 2, 3, let's look at 1, 3. SD and RA. Okay, SD and RA has nothing in common. So therefore, we are unable to prove side by side. Okay, which only gives us the last option, right? Which is side angle side. Okay, so now let's look at angle SCD. Right, SCD is equals to angle RDA line because this is a rhombus and they are straight line. So rhombus is parallel over here. Okay, so that means this angle and this angle will be alternate angles. So let's write that down. Angle SCD equals to angle RDA. Alternate angles of parallel lines. Okay, so therefore they are congruent by SAS.
Okay, let's look at the next question. Okay, completing the square. By expressing x squared minus 10x minus 2 in the form x minus h squared plus k, where h and k are constant, write down the coordinates of the minimum point of the graph. Okay, so by now, if you still don't know how to complete the square, okay, we have a lot of ways to complete the square, basically, right? So, just offhand, okay, I'm going to look at 3 methods of completing the square. The first one, which is the most direct one, is by memorization. Okay, x squared minus 10x minus 2. Okay, so first, okay, this is what you do. Put a bracket first. Okay, so in the bracket, okay, the first term will always be x. Now, and then based on the sign down here, this is a minus sign, so you put minus. Okay, now if this was a plus sign, then of course you put plus. Okay, the next thing, what you do, take the coefficient. Okay, take the coefficient down here, which is a 10, and then you take the 10 divided by 2. Now, repeat the 10 divided by 2 on the other side. Square. Okay, continue with the minus 2. Okay, so this is, okay, this part will always be minus. Okay, the highlighted green part will always be minus. Okay, and then you just simplify. So you get 10 divided by 2 is 5. So x minus 5 squared. Minus 5 squared, which is 25, minus another 2, so minus 27. Okay, this is the answer. Okay, now, second method you can do, okay, but this one will be slightly riskier. Okay, why is it risky? If the question just say, complete the question didn't say, okay, didn't provide you this form, then you'll be dangerous. Okay, if the question just says, by completing the square, then they expect you to do it, okay, that will be the risk. But otherwise, you can do this. X squared minus 10x minus 2 equals to extend this. So you have x squared minus 2hx plus h squared plus k. And then you do a comparison. Minus 10x is supposed to be minus 2hx. So minus 10x equals to minus 2hx. Okay, x and x are the same, you can take away. Negative, negative, also the same, you can take away. So 2h equals to 10, h equals to 5. Okay, which fits the question, right? H equals to 5. This is what we get as well. Okay, then the next part, since we solve for h squared plus k is supposed to be the negative 2. The negative 2 is supposed to be h squared plus k. So now we already know h squared plus k equals to negative 2 and h squared is 5. So 25 plus k equal negative 2, a equal negative 27. Okay, this is the same answer. Okay, that's the second way. Now the third way, I don't have enough space, so I'm going to show the third way. Okay, the third way is how usually I teach Sec 3 students when they first learn this time. Okay, so now O levels, okay, we just remember these two methods. That will be good now. Okay, now the advantage of complete the square is that we are able to get the minimum point or the maximum point just by staring at the data. Okay, this value you reverse, reverse. So that means it's positive 5. Okay, this value you take it, so negative 27. So the turning point will be 5, negative 27. That's all. Okay, next question. Okay. The universe set is x and y such that x and y are integers, x is less than 1, more than or equals to negative 2. So the three numbers, negative 2, negative 1, 0. Okay. And y is less than or equals to negative 1, more than or equals to negative 1, less than or equals to 1. So negative 1, 0, and 1. Okay. P is such that x squared plus y squared is lesser than 2. Okay. Q is such that x times y is less than 0. Okay. Find the number of elements in the universe set. Okay. Well, this question is a little bit tough, right? Okay. Okay. So I think a lot of people doesn't really understand this question. Okay, but x, y, right? This is a pair of coordinates. Okay. So this question is a little bit tough, right? Okay. So this is a pair of coordinates. Okay, now will this appear? I think not high chance. It is a little bit more advanced. Okay, so x has a range of negative 2, negative 1, and 0. Okay, and y has negative 1, 0, and 1. So the number of elements in the universe set, okay, would then be equals to 3 times 3, which is 9. Okay, so 3 in the x, 3 in the y. Okay, so each of them has 3 combinations. So that's why there's a total of 9 combinations. Okay, so to put it into perspective, right, it could be something like this. Okay, p equals to okay, p is not p, right? The elements, right? The elements, sorry, is like negative 2, negative 1, negative 2, 0, negative 2, 1. So that's 3 combinations already. Okay, we can have negative 1, negative 1. Okay, and these are all the elements. Negative 1, 0, and then negative 1, 1. Okay, and the third pair will be negative 0, 1, 0, 0, okay, and 0, negative 1. Okay, so 9 elements. Okay, list the elements of the following in set notation. Okay, the elements of P, the elements of Q. Okay, so PQ, right? Okay, so let's see, right? xy is such that x squared plus y squared is less than 2. Okay, so that means P, okay, let's say I list down the elements like that. Okay, so later I will write it off. Okay, so this one cannot be in P. Okay, this one also cannot be in P. Cannot. Okay, this one can. Okay, then this one cannot. Can. Right? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 elements in P. So P can have the element of negative 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, and 0, negative 1. Okay, so Q is xy is less than 0. Okay, so I use xy is less than 0, so 0 also cannot. So this 3 is out. Okay, this one xy is positive. Then cannot. Okay, this one, right? This is 1. Okay, then second one, right? So 2 elements. Out. Okay, so we have negative 1, 0. Oh, sorry, negative 2, 1. Negative 2, 1, and negative 1, 1. Right, 2 elements. Okay. Okay, question 13. Okay, diagram shows a triangle ABC, construct the perpendicular bisector of AC, construct the bisector of angle BCA. Okay, I can't really construct. Okay, so I just go through in details, right? And AC. To construct perpendicular bisector, first you take a compass. Okay, open up the compass to be more than half, right? Place it at point A, mark an arc, mark an arc. Okay, place it at point A, sorry, just like C. Point A, use the same line, right? You open an arc, cross an arc. Okay, then you take these two intersections and cross. Okay, that will be the perpendicular bisector. Okay, now angle bisector of BCA. So this BCA. Okay, open up your compass to a fixed length, let's say 2 cm or 3 cm. Okay, usually I like to use 2 cm. Okay, keep it constant at 2 cm. Place the compass on C, okay, and then mark the angle. Okay, using these 2 mark points, right? Place a compass at these 2 mark points, make an arc. Take this point, connect to this intersection. That will be your angle bisector. Okay, something like this. That's all. Okay, of course, mine is not accurate, because I'm just doing it like okay, with free hand, not even with the compass. Okay, question 14. Okay, another set question. Okay, a bit rare. They usually set 3. We have one question. Okay, now let's see what it does. W equals to element 0 and element of 0 close. Okay, so need to understand. Okay, this bracket, okay, is to open up to prove this is the element, inside W, as well as this is also an element, like the thing with the bracket. Again, trying to confuse you, but this is also an element. Okay, so number of elements is 2. List all possible subsets of W, right? Okay, so possible subset would be, okay, so W, okay, let's say we draw, okay, W contains 2 elements, 0 and bracket 0. Okay, so possible subsets that we can have, right, is number 1, this one. Okay, it's inside W, but it doesn't contain anything. What is this called? Okay, an empty set. Okay, now we can have this as a subset, so 0 can be a possible subset. Okay, the element of 0 is a possible subset. Okay, and then we can have this as a subset. So this one will be confusing. Your element of the symbol. Okay, then the next one will be all 3 together. I mean all 2 together. Right. So the last one will be 0. Okay, okay, but note these 3 are called proper subset. Okay, this one is just a subset. Okay, write down the letters, the set represented by the following shaded region. Okay, I like to use this method for 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now let's see, right? What is A? A is the region 1 and 2. Okay, B is the region, okay, sorry, A is the region 2 and 3. Okay, A is the region 2 and 3. B is the region 3 and 4. A comp is the region 1 and 4. B comp is the region 1 and 2. Okay, now I want 1, 2, 3. So that means I go 1 to 4. Okay, so 2 ways to do it, right? Okay, if you want 1, 2, 3, you just take note 1, 2, 2, 3. So you want all of them, so that will be union. So A union B complement. Okay. Now another way, which is a little bit more confusing, right, is that you are using these 2 and then you want the 4. So you take A comp intersect B, then you'll get 4. Then take the whole thing complement, then you'll get 1, 2, 3. Okay, what should I do? Okay, simultaneous inequality, what happened? Just split to 2 parts, right? X minus 3 less than or equals to 5 minus x over 3. Cross multiply 3x minus 9 less than or equals to 5 minus x. Or x less than or equals to 14. X less than 3 and a half. Oh, check the other side. 5 minus x over 3 less than x plus 1 over 2. Cross multiply 10 minus 2x, 3x plus 3. Cross over 5x, 7. So x is greater than 7 over 5. Okay, so if you were to draw a number line, however, right, this question is okay, 5x is x. Okay, so draw a number line to identify the range, right? So x must be greater than 7, 7 over 5. So this is 1 whole 2 fifths, right? Okay, x must be greater, so goes in this direction. Okay, x must be smaller than 3 and a half, so 3 and a half. So this one is x. And this one, okay, this one should be over here. Okay, then we also have 3 and a half going in this direction. Okay, so we're looking for this point right here. Okay, so x must be smaller than or equals to 3 and a half, greater than 1 whole 2 fifths. That's it. Okay, question 16. The diagram shows a semicircle BAC with diameter BC equals to 34 cm. And given that cosine ABC equals to 8 out of 17, cosine ABC, so this angle down here. Okay, without solving for angle ABC and angle ACD, find the exact value of cosine ACD. Okay, this is a semicircle, okay, but don't forget properties of circle. BD is a diameter, okay, BC is a diameter. So properties of semicircle, right, a property of circle, right, is that C travel to a point, B also travel to the same point. So this is a right angle. Okay, so now this angle is theta, right, cosine ABC. From this angle's perspective, this is the half, and this is the opposite. This is the hypo, because it's opposite of the right angle, which means that this is adjacent. Alright. Okay. So now cosine ABC is adjacent over hypo. Okay, and say it's 8 over 17. But based on what we observe, right, cosine angle ABC, it should have been equals to AB over BC equals to AB over 34. And it's equals to 8 out of 17. Which tells me that AB must be equals to 16. Right? Now then what is the opposite? Pythagoras theorem. Right? AC equals to square root 37 squared minus 34 squared minus 16 squared equals to. Okay. So opposite is 30. Now, then, based on the question, they want us to find cosine ACD. ACD is this obtuse angle down here. So obtuse angle, we can make use of the acute angle to find, right? So we can also say that cosine angle ACD is the negative version of cosine ACD. Okay? This is the obtuse angle formula. Okay? And cosine angle ACD is that you'll take this as its opposite and take this as the adjacent. So we adjacent over hypo, 30 over 34. Negative 30 over 34, which is negative 15 over 17. Answer. Okay, let's look at this pattern. Okay, T1 is 2 squared minus 1 equal 3, T2 3 squared minus 2, T3 4 squared minus 3, T4 5 squared minus 4. So you can see that there's a pattern that's going down here. Okay, now the part at the back is just following the term number 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, whereas the squared term is one higher than the term number. So that means even before I look at the 7th term, I can actually conclude what is Tn. Okay, so Tn is equals to n plus 1 squared minus n. Okay, so T7 is equals to 8 squared minus 7. That's all. 56 minus 7, so answer is, no, sorry, 64 minus 7, so answer is 57. Okay, so 57. Okay, this one will just be n plus 1 squared minus n. Kelvin claims that the difference between two consecutive terms, Tn plus 1 minus Tn, where n is a positive integer, will always be even. Do you agree? Explain your answer with clear workings. Okay, so now the pattern is, okay, let me change the formula a little bit. Instead of Tn, I say Tk. Tk equals to k plus 1 squared minus k. So it's essentially the same formula, just that I replace the k with n. Okay. Now I say when k is equals to n plus 1. Okay. And what will happen? Tn, okay, will be equals to n plus 1 plus 1 squared minus n plus 1. Okay. Tn plus 1. Then Tn would just be n plus 1 squared minus n. Okay. Now what is the result of these two? Let's find out. N plus 2 squared will be n squared plus 4n plus 4 minus n minus 1. Here will give me n squared plus 2n plus 1 minus n. Now, if I take the first term minus the second term, okay, and I do this. Now, n squared minus n squared. Okay, so Tn plus 1 minus Tn is equals to, so my thought process is n squared minus n squared. N squared will be 4n minus 2n, so left 2n. 4 minus 1, okay, but 4 here minus 1, so 3. 3 minus another 1, so 2 plus 2. Okay, minus n minus negative n, so no more n. So that means the difference will be always 2n plus 2, okay, which is equals to 2 bracket n plus 1. Okay, so therefore, Kelvin claims that it will always be even, right? Therefore, he is correct. Kelvin is correct, as there is a factor of 2. Okay, next question. Diagram shows two congruent isosceles triangle, PQS and RSQ. Okay, PS and RS are parallel to the x-axis. Write down the coordinates of Q. Okay, so since they are congruent isosceles triangle, right? So that means this part, and this part, okay, they must be the same. Okay, so now if you look at this, okay, if I take this and cut in the line down here, this part and this part are equal. Okay, if I take this line, cut down here, this part and this part are equal. Okay, so that means P to R, and the distance of P to R is actually made up of 3 units worth. Okay, now we are talking about x-axis, right? Negative 2 to 13. So that means this whole thing is 15 units. Okay, 15 units. And to cube is 2 units. So therefore, the x coordinate is negative 2 plus 10 equals to 8. Okay, so that means Q is 8, 1. Okay, find the equation of the line PR. Okay. So PR is this one. Right? So PR would be equals to, firstly, radian equals to 4 minus 1 over 13 minus negative 2. 3 over 15. 1/5. Y equals to mx plus c. Okay, so 1 equals to 1/5 negative 2 plus c. C equals to 1 whole 2/5. Y equals to 1/5 x plus 1 whole 2/5. W is a point on the x-axis such that RW is perpendicular to RS. Okay? RW is perpendicular to RS. Write down the coordinate of RW. R, okay, so that means this is on the x-axis. So 0. Okay, very good. Okay. Find the perimeter of PQRS. Okay, PQRS, find the perimeter. Okay, P to Q, this is 10 units, right? And so here is also 10 units. So I just need to find this side, because this side and this side are the same, right? Because they're congruent. So this is 8, 1. Okay, let's find out what's the length of RQ. Okay, so RQ is equals to square root 13 minus 8 square plus 4 minus 1 square. So that's equals to 5. Okay, so perimeter 5 squared plus, calculator 5 squared plus 3 squared. Okay, 5.83. Okay, so 5.83 times 2 plus 8. Okay, 31.66. So 31.7 units. Question 19. In the year 2022, it was recorded that the average amount of waste generated in Singapore was 20.3 thousand tons. Assuming that there are 365 days in a year, find the total amount of waste generated in the year 2022. Give your answer in standard form. Oh, average amount of waste daily. Okay, what's this? So this one is simple, right? Okay, so 20.3 thousand, so 10 to the power 3 multiplied by 365. Okay, because tons is a unit down here, we don't need to care about tons. So we'll get calculator 20.3 times 1,000 times 365. Okay, right, we'll get 740950. Okay, so that will equal to 7.41 times 10 to the power of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. So 7.41 times 10 to the power 6 tons. Okay, that's all. Okay, let's look at question 20. Okay, company sells chocolate muffins and banana muffins. These muffins are sold across 3 different outlets, which are outlet A, outlet B, and outlet C. Table shows the number of boxes of chocolate muffins and banana muffins produced at each of the 3 outlets in a particular day. Okay, the table can be represented by this matrix. All right, okay. The production cost of each box, okay, of muffins and each box of banana is $3 and $4.50 respectively. Okay, represent this information by 2 by 1. Evaluate the matrix R equals to QP. State what R represents. Company sells each box of muffins for 70% more than it costs to produce. On the day, company sold 5/6 of each of the table in A, 4/5 in B, and all in C. Okay, by using matrix R, find the total amount collected from the sales of all 3 outlets. Okay. The total amount collected from the sales of muffin from all 3 outlets is this amount. Calculate the values of X. All right, let's take a look. Okay, now let's reread the whole thing. Okay, but this time around we have a clearer picture, right? Okay, so the first part has already put into a 3 by 2 matrix for us. Okay, part A. The production cost of each box of matrix is $3 and $4.50. Represent in the 2 by 1. So 2 by 1 is straightforward, 3 and 4.5. Okay, now evaluate the matrix R equals to QP. So Q times P. So 36, 40, 48, 39, 45, and X multiplies T, which is 3, and 4.5. Now, this is a 3 by 2 matrix. This is a 2 by 1 matrix. So that means my final answer is a 3 by 1 matrix. Knowing the result is very important. Okay? So 3 by 1 matrix means there are 3 rows, 1 column. Okay? So if I draw it at the side, okay, this will be row 1, row 2, row 3, column 1. So the value down here is row 1, column 1, row 2, column 1, okay, and row 3, column 1. Okay? So that means we are taking row 1 multiplied by column 1. Okay, very straightforward. So 36 times 3, okay, plus 40 times 4.5, okay, which will get me 288 for the first value. Second value, 48 times 3, 39 plus times 4.5. So 5,339.5. Okay. Third one, 135 plus 4.5x. Okay. So we know that later on there's a solving for x as well. Okay. So this is the answer, right? State what each of the elements in R represent. So R represents the total production cost, okay, in all 3 outlets respectively. Okay. The company sells a muffin for 70% more than cost to produce. Cost is 100%. So the sale must be at 170%. Okay. Now, so find the matrix R. Okay, by using matrix R, find the total amount collected from the sales. Okay. So first we have unrealistic expectation is that we sell everything. So that means we'll sell 170% of R. Okay. So this will be 1.7, 170% 1.7 of the 288, 319.5 and the 135 and x. Okay. A scalar multiplication, I multiply it. This is the price that I want to sell at. Okay, think of it this way. This is the price that I want to sell at. So then scalar multiplication, everything just times. So we'll get 489.6, 543.15, and 229.5 plus 7.65x. So everything has been multiplied by 1.7. Okay, everything. Now, but the thing is, we did not sell out everything. Okay, each store, okay, we only sell out. Okay, this is store A, store B, store C. Right, this is our markup price. Okay, we want to sell this price. Okay, but we only managed to sell 568. Okay, 4/5 in B, and all, but we can sell. We sold all in C. Now the question wants the total amount, right? Okay, so of all 3 outlets. Okay, total of all 3 outlets, meaning I want a 1 by 1 matrix. Right now, this is a 3 by 1 matrix. So to end up with a 1 by 1 matrix, I need to multiply by a 1 by 3 matrix. Okay, so the 1 by 3 matrix can only look this way: 5, 6, 4/5, and 1. Multiply 489.6, 543.15, 229.5 plus 7.65x. Okay, so the answer will be equals to 5/6 times 1072.4 plus 7.65x. Okay. The total amount collected from the sales is this. Okay, find the value of x. So okay, this one is pretty straightforward. 7.65x equals to 1454.52 minus 1072.42. Minus 1455.52 divided by 4.5 divided by 7.65. Okay, so we have 382.5. So x equals to 50. In a class of 36 students, each student is either in a sports team or a performing arts club. Each student is also either a member or a leader of their respective CCA. Okay? One student is selected as a member of the class, the committee that students selected sports team is 1/3. Okay? Given that there are 4 sports team members in the class, find the number of students who are leaders in the sport team. Okay? So 1/3, 12, right? Sorry, 1/3 of 36 is supposed to be 12. So there are 12 sports students, right? So they are either a member or a leader. So if there are only 4 members, then the rest must be leaders. Okay? So okay, 2 students are selected at random from the class. The probability that both of them are members of a performing club is 1 out of 20. Okay. Find the number of students who are members in a performing club. Okay. So we have n, we have n, okay, let n, or let x, let n, right? N, well, members of one. So we have n over 26 multiplied by n is 1 out of 5 equals to 1. So we have that's 1 over 5 times 26 equals to 1. Okay. So we have n squared equals to 25 times 26. N squared, n, sorry, n minus 6, n plus 5. 6. In another clause, the probability that a student is a leader is CCA. The probability that a student must not is n. Derek claims that the probability of a student is thus being a leader or is in a performing class is n. Explain the reason for Derek's statement. Use a leader. Because a leader in a CCA is this probability, in arts club is this probability. But a student can be, if you just take this two probability, if you are ignoring the fact that a student in art can. Okay, so explain the reason whether it will explain no. Okay, as a student in arts could also be a leader. Therefore, it will not. Question 22. The scale of a mat is 1:n. The school doesn't have 8 cm squared. A mat has an actual area of 2048 meters squared. So that means we are given an area scale. 8 cm squared is to 2048 meters squared. Okay? So 1 cm squared actually represents 256 meters squared. Okay? But this is actually just the area scale. Now to transit into mat scale, okay, what do we need to do? So square root 1 cm squared. Square root 2,600 meters squared. Okay? So 1 cm is 16. So 1 cm is 2,600 cm. That's and equals to 2,000. Question 23. Four technicians plans to repair 416 computers in 16 days. However, after repairing for 10 days, one of the technicians falls sick and cannot continue. The remaining computers are to be repaired by the other 3 technicians. Okay? Assuming that they all work at the same rate, calculate the total number of days needed for all 416 computers to be repaired. Okay? So 4 technicians can complete 416 computers in 16 days. So there are 3 variables. Okay? Now, however, they have already done the job for 10 days. Okay? So if 16 days they can complete 416, okay, 1 day they can complete 416. Okay, so here you divide by 16, but this is direct proportion, so you divide by 16 as well. So 416 divided by 16, you actually get 26 computers. Okay, for the 4 technicians. Okay, now that means in 10 days. Okay, so you times 10. Okay, you complete 260 computers by 4 technicians. Okay, so that means the remaining computers. Okay, by right, you should have 6 more days. Okay, so now 4 technicians can complete. Okay, 416 minus 260, 156 computers in the next 6 days. Okay, however, 146. Okay, so I say 1 technician, right? If 1 technician were to repair all the computers, how long would it take? Okay, to repair 156 computers, it will then take 24 days. Because this one, you divide by 4, the number of days will actually times 4. Now, so if you have 3 technicians, however, it will take 8 days. Okay, so now find the total number of days. You already took 10 days, you need 8 more days. So total 18 days. Okay, question 24. The cognitive frequency diagram shows the time hours that each of the 120 adults from county spends on exercise in 1 week. Okay, explain, you can find probability of it. The cognitive frequency diagram shows the time hours that each of the 120 adults from county spends on exercise in 1 week. Explain, you can find the probability of spending exactly 5 hours of exercise weekly. Right? So we can't, because it's cognitive frequency. So no, of S, and not determine Z number of adults that spends 5 hours exercising. 5 hours exercising. The health board recommends at least 8 hours, okay, to stay fit. 60% of the adults in county meets this recommended weekly exercise. Find the probability of 8. Okay? So 60% of 120 is equal to 72. So 72 adults net is important. Okay, however, you know that we need to count backwards, okay? Because you exercising more is good. Okay, so the person that exercises more definitely hits the target. So you need to count 72 backwards. Alright, so 120 minus 72 equals 72. So that means you're counting from 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the answer is 3. So these people are the ones that pass the test. Okay, so now, the post and visitor plot shows the time hours that each of the 100 million of counties spends on exercise. Find the median and interquartile range. Okay, so median is over here. This is 2.4. The 2.4. Interquartile range 5.8. Okay, this is 2.8. 2.2. Okay, interquartile range is 5.8 minus 1.6. Right? 5.4.2. Interquartile range is 2. Right? Okay. Make a comparison from county and county. We didn't find that. Okay, so let's find the two values. Okay, for county. County 120 equals, so the median is here. Right? The median is 3.6 hours. Okay, then 30 is 2 hours. Okay, then 90 is 5 hours. So A, the median is 3.6. Okay, the interquartile range is 3. So state the comparison, okay, on average. Okay, A has a higher median. Okay, which means more adults exercise. And which means adult exercise more hours. Okay. Then B has a higher interquartile range, which means adults in B are less consistent. Okay, let's take a look at this question. Liquid container 30 cm tall can be molded by a frustrum A placed below a cylinder B as shown in figure 1. Figure 2 shows a sketch of the cone that the frustrum is part of. Alright. The diameter QRS of the top of the frustrum is 12 cm. Okay, and the diameter at the bottom is 8. Height is 9. R and U are midpoints of QS and BT. Calculate the volume of the frustrum A. So this is a 2D version of the cone, right? Okay, and this frustrum is always linked to similar triangles. Okay, so let's say this is X, or let's say this, actually we don't need to use X, okay, can just use W. Okay, sorry, I should do that. Okay, so what we can see down here is that, okay, by similar triangle property, okay, we just take L1 over L2 of the small triangle against the big triangle. So we'll have WU against WR. Okay, is equals to 8 over 12. Okay, because the diameter, comparing the diameter. Now WU is just WU, which is something that we want to find. Now WR can be written as WU plus 9 equals to reduce 2 out of 3. Okay, so cross multiply. Okay, cross multiply 3WU equals to 2WU plus 18. So WU equals to 18, right? So this is 18. So the whole thing will be equals to 27. Now to calculate the volume, right, of the frustrum, okay, volume of frustrum is equals to big cone minus small cone. So it's equals to 1/3 pi r square h minus 1/3 pi r square h. So we have 1/3 pi. Okay, r is 12 divided by 2, so 6 square times 27 minus 1/3 pi times 4 square times 18. Okay, and that will give me 1/3 pi times 6 square times 27 minus 1/3 times pi times 4 square times 18. 716.28. Okay, pi SF. Okay, then round off to 3SF 5716 centimeter cube. Okay. A liquid is poured into a container at a constant rate of Q centimeter cube per second. It takes 50 seconds to fill up A completely and takes another 30 seconds to fill up B completely. Sketch the height of the liquid with respect to time. Okay, now this is 9 cm. So that means this is 21 cm. The final will be at 30 cm at 80 seconds. Okay, the first one is takes 50 seconds to fill up A completely. So at the first 50 seconds, you will reach a height of 9 cm. So 50 and 9. Right, so we'll get 50 and 9. Okay, so from this point to the fill up portion is going to be a straight line. Okay, because the graph is the container is a cylinder. Cylinder is considered a uniform shape. Okay, so uniform shape, it will be a straight line. Now, the frustrum, right, is from small at the start and big at the end. So that means water is getting harder, right? Harder to fill up. So when things are harder, okay, the graph will slow down. Okay, oh, that's all.